Yeah, today's topic is ethanol blended program. So, what is it? Ethanol usually got it from sugarcane, and it is a very good biofuel. So, why are we discussing this topic today? Is because it's been recently in news that please remember the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. They asked not to use sugarcane juice or syrup for making ethanol with immediate effect. Till now, we have been using or producing ethanol using that only, and now suddenly government said please stop this process. So that is going to affect a huge industry by itself. So what is the current status? So this is the first part, it's already done. So what you have to understand here is so ethanol production capacity, you look at this, increases by more than 2.5 times, and the number of distilleries increased by 66%. So that's like a huge number of production centers and employment and wages and all these things. You have to think in all the directions. So most of the ethanol, you have to remember this B heavy molasses. That is very important. So B heavy molasses. There's also something called C heavy molasses. B heavy as well as C heavy. So, and please remember this industry is about to grow by 500%. 500% increase is like very crazy. So just imagine an industry which is about to grow by 500% is suddenly asked to stop. It has a huge repercussion. Therefore, please remember this. So the important points in this slide is 66% number of distilleries, majority of it is B heavy molasses, and it grows by 500%. So the ethanol program, so please remember it's an agro based product mainly produced as a byproduct of sugar industry. And why is it useful? To produce 99% of pure alcohol that can be blended with petrol. So along with petrol, ethanol is also added, as you all know. Now what is a policy? National policy on biofuels. This is very important. And which department? Is Department of Food, Public and Distribution for promotion of fuel grade ethanol. Who does it? This department does it. So what is the target? Now for your prelims, this is important, and E10 and E20, this is very important. E10 means 10% ethanol blending, E20 means 20% ethanol blending. So this is very important for your prelims. For your prelims, very important. What is the difference? What is the nature of this? And all that stuff will be asked in. So moving on. So who does the price fixation? Government and some oil companies will do the price fixation. So what is C heavy molasses? So C heavy molasses is fundamentally byproduct of direct sugarcane processing. It's a byproduct of sugarcane processing. After the sugarcane is processed, the byproduct of it is C heavy. While B heavy, if you look at it, B heavy is actually sugarcane juice and rice and maize. These are the things. Therefore, this is very, very useful for your prelims. This is for your prelims. C heavy versus B heavy, this will be the question that will be asked. Next, so this is not very, just need to know that a lot of mills have started, but these are very useful for your prelims with respect to ethanol topic. Moving on, this program is very important, Fuel India program, and who are the entities of it? Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Punjab, Haryana, but this is in future, Punjab and Haryana, because these states fundamentally feed the whole India. These are the fuel states. They fund whole, these states, fuel are the major centers for giving us fuel production. So Uttar Pradesh, if you look at it, this is very important point for your prelims. Uttar Pradesh, sugarcane excellent, and Bihar is a production of maize. So sugarcane plus maize That means I told you previously, we'll give you B heavy. So B heavy centers are these two, Uttar Pradesh as well as this. So, and another important point that you have to remember is ethanol blending offers increase in RON, research octane number. Why this is very useful? Because it produces fuel blended oxygen along with higher flame. So more flame, more energy sources. So this is very useful for your prelims. What do you mean by RON and what is the application of RON? So if you remember, so in this slide, what you have to remember, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, future is Punjab, Haryana, Maharashtra. These are the fuel states. Uttar Pradesh major for sugarcane, Bihar major producer of maize. So combination of both of them, B heavy ethanol production. And ethanol blending, what is the purpose of it? It produces something called research octane number with blended, which is very useful for your fuel with higher flame. If you remember that, that is more than sufficient. Next, please remember look at this. Okay, I'll tell you the important points. So government directed sugar mills and not see this the basic problems which we face is low stock. Another major problem is very uncertain production, useful for your mains, and domestic availability is very less. Therefore, supply for exports becomes very less. And huge consumerism, the primacy has been given to consumers over ethanol. The problem is these items have more consumers than the ethanol production. Therefore, because majority of the stake goes to consumerism and consumer use of consumers. So for ethanol production, we are not able to supply enough for heavy ethanol productions. That is a problem. So, and inflation. These are the major codes. So what you have to remember for your mains is low stock production, uncertain production, domestic availability is very less, consumerism is huge, therefore supply for ethanol production will decrease, and finally inflation should be increased. These are the major reasons. Next, these are the major problems that we'll see. So again I repeat, so the government directed sugar mills not to use sugarcane. Why? Is because of these reasons. One is, please remember, low stock. This is one major reason. Second, very uncertain production. Third, preference is more for the domestic use than the external use. Therefore, for exports, it has been reduced. Next, we have huge consumer market. So, majority of the byproducts and all these things are utilized by consumers themselves. Therefore, it is not easy to provide huge material for ethanol production. That is another reason. And inflation. These are the major reasons for not being able to produce huge amount of ethanol. So, as said, what is important? Fuel India, Uttar Pradesh, vehicle efficiency, RON. Price fixation, who does it? Government and oil companies. Difference between C heavy molasses and B heavy molasses. C heavy molasses direct byproduct of sugarcane processing, while B heavy is sugarcane juice and others like rice and maize. So, and this year agro-based product 99% pure alcohol. And what is the policy? National policy on biofuels. Nodal department is Department of Food Public Distribution. And what is the target? Please remember, this is very important for your prelims. E10 and E20. What do you mean by it? This is 10% alcohol blending and this is 20% ethanol blending. So if you remember this, that is more than sufficient. Then we'll move on to what is the current status. This is the situation. And why did we talk about it? Because there is an imminent ban on ethanol production. So prelims, you might get one question from this, and mains they might ask you in science and tech. If they want to ask you, they can ask you about